Okay, so I just completed a challenge surviving for 10 days in Kaiju universe as a tiny human-sized Kong, and oh my god, this was the most intense thing of my life. A full day in Kaiju universe is 10 minutes long, but to survive giant Kaiju when you're so small is just horrifying. It was also a lot of fun though, so leave a like if you guys want to see more stuff like this. Subscribe, watch to the very end for the craziest ending ever, and let's get it going. Day one actually started out pretty nice. No one really knew what was going on yet. I was still fresh in the server, so I was pretty much just existing, kind of just exploring town as a human-sized monkey, often just hiding in the car display window at the car store because, I don't know, he just fits so well in there. It's like the best camouflage I'll ever be able to find. This is when I started to realize that I was in danger. I was now simply on display and in danger. And now things have gotten crazy. I kept trying to hide in the rubble of buildings, but they kept spawning me somehow. I don't know what it is. Making my grand escape, I had this genius idea just to hide underneath the Monster Zero, but then it flew away. So my whole escape plan was doo-doo. All in all, day one was still pretty easy though. Like, not many people were hunting me yet. It was the easiest day by far. The only person hunting me so far was just this Gigan, which is really only scary because it's 10 times bigger than me. What did scare me though is I was not able to escape this Gigan no matter what. It made me realize that even though I look like I'm traveling really fast, due to the fact that I'm tiny, I'm not really getting any distance. Day two was here and things were starting to get sneaky. There was a few people hunting me, and due to the fact that I have these tiny legs, I wasn't able to really outrun them much. I was trying to get into this car store to blend in, but you could only like glitch into the other one. This was a sad awakening. I tried hiding on top of it like some kind of mascot, but I wasn't fooling anybody. Was at this moment I decided, oh my god, giant dead Godzilla. But at this moment I decided to strike back. It was just a little mecha Godzilla. We could kill this guy. We weren't going down this easily. Unfortunately, killing this guy initiated the worst series of revenge I've ever seen in my life. But either way, nightfall was here. It was time to find shelter for the night. I wanted to stay in Tokyo because it's just so much braver than hiding on some distant island. This made the challenge way more legit. Plus, I have a tunnel here. The tunnel is completely my home. Then I stupidly started typing to people and didn't even notice my health, dude. This Monster Zero was vaporizing me. When I finally did notice, I absolutely crapped my pants. That Monster Zero was the Mecha Godzilla. This time, he was back for revenge. The dude pursued me well through the night, into the third day. It was a brutal existence. Day 3 was here and things were not looking good. I had barely 1200 health and the most dead set, like, bounty hunting Monster Zero on the planet right on my cheeks. I was just quick enough of a swimmer to like stay at his speed, but on land he was able to catch me, so I had to think of a plan. Now this is where the genius comes in. I started just hiding underneath this Godzilla. I was gonna get him to strike this Godzilla for sure and then cause an international war basically. There we go. It was initiated. The Godzilla was pissed, and this was my chance to disappear. My health was so freaking low, too. Look at that overwhelming Monster Zero shadow behind me. Dude, I was crapping my pants. I was so scared. He's hitting me with gravity beams. I'm barely dodging him, staying underneath thick sandbars. We're barely on the third day. I knew I had to stay low, as low to the surface as possible to avoid its wing flaps. I stopped off on a little island to repair my health before going back. But then I gradually just started to notice that when I stand right here, the umbrella becomes kind of a little skirt for Kong, which admittedly did distract me a lot longer than it probably should have. I was back in Tokyo, but I had to be sneaky. I thought if I hide in this little building, I was completely protected, but he finds me, dude. I don't know how the crap he kept finding me so well. Eventually, however, my genius was too much for him. I managed to squeeze in between two buildings, basically hiding in a back alleyway, and I had peace. My health was about half empty, and he couldn't find me, dude. He's just overwhelming the city. I gotta tell you, I've been pretty proud of some things in my life, but this was like one of the things I was proudest of forever. When he commented in chat, where did he go? I legit almost peed my pants in laughter. I felt like a Navy SEAL. Unfortunately, I'm an idiot and had to hit him with an XD in chat, which immediately gave away my location. Now I was back on the run, fighting for my life. I did manage to eventually juke him, however, and spend the night, like, not fearing for my life, which was just fantastic, because we were almost dead so many times, and we still had so many freaking days to go. And just like that, day 4 was upon us, and things immediately started getting horrifying. Once the sun was up, he found my hiding spot almost instantly. It's almost crazy how fast he found us right there. This is when it really sets in that I have no chance of outrunning this thing. Even though it looks like I'm running fast, it's just because I'm tiny. He catches up to me so freaking easily. I had to find a hiding spot fast. I started trying to just get into every single empty little building till eventually he lost track of me, and hoping it works. And you know what? Eventually it did work out. He lost me beautifully. It was time to start fighting back before they built up on us too much. First thing I tried to do was kill this female Muto. I'm so small that it actually does help out in combat a bit. Unfortunately, this Monster Zero is beating the absolute crap out of me. I started trying to attack him as well, but that just launched me into the stratosphere. So I decided to just get the crap out of there. And then Destroyer joined in. Now things were officially too much for me to handle. I was super low health, and there's a freaking Destroyer after me too. Every time I turned back, I'd see more and more creatures behind me, and things were getting pretty scary. I was actually kind of worried I wouldn't get any farther, especially once that floral beam hit me. I had to get low. I had to get low and stay low. Okay, at this point, I'm absolutely crapping my pants. Like, they're all biting and beaming right behind me, staying low in ravines to dodge like Monster Zero bites. But that Destroyer was relentless. At this point, some of them had to die. I was simply way too outnumbered, and I was just getting jumped. We had to thin the herd a little bit, or death was imminent. The Godzilla was easiest, so he had to die. Everyone was so stuck up on each other trying to kill me that a lot of them ended up killing each other, actually. And when the Monster Zero died, that was my opportunity to escape and weasel back into my hole where they couldn't find me. And man, that Monster Zero was not happy that they lost me. That dude was coming back with more vengeance than I could still possibly fathom. And day 5 was finally here. Now, this was a weird one. The Monster Zero came back as the Megaguirus, which just because he kept losing me, he wanted to be faster. But see, Kong could kill a Megaguirus, especially a tiny little baby Kong that's like basically impossible to beam. So this actually helped me out a little bit. This was beneficial because I was able to kill this guy, which ultimately would just spark an entire revolution, but at the moment felt like a huge win. I was pretty happy about that. I even roared on him. I flexed on him, which again led to a revolution. I retreated back to my house, but I made a classic mistake. Somebody saw me run into my house, and they were super quick to rat me out to the rest of the server. My home was no longer safe. Luckily, a bunch of people who gathered for the revolution at first were just excited to meet me, but that kind of wore off after a little bit and turned into a massive manhunt. But at the moment, I was enjoying the peace and just being able to slaughter people. It was at this point that a bounty was put on my head. If you kill me, he'll give you 1 Robux, stated my arch nemesis, and this is where things start to get stinky. I started out day 6 like an absolute genius. I was hidden back inside my car salesman place. Like, I was certain this was just like, I was gonna beat the challenge, no issue right here. Like, I'm staying in Tokyo, so I'm not even being a weenie, but I'm just so invisible. Unfortunately, that's when the sun came out. Didn't take long for the Voodon to notice me. Now, this is when I realized that a Voodon is like the best thing on the planet against the tiny Kong, at least on land. Like, it's so much faster than me, and its attack just scrapes the bottom of the floor, so anything super tiny can't dodge it at all. I killed a few guys, stupidly, because then they all respawned as nuclear Godzillas. Now, from this point on, things were just nightmare fuel. There was multiple destroyers, Monster Zeros, and nuclear Godzillas all trying to get me. And I still managed to kill a nuclear Godzilla. But the logic here was you can't dodge a nuke, even if you're tiny. And honestly, it was genius. It was genius strategies. At this point, I was so freaking scared. I think I was almost crying, bro. I stood no chance. I was doing it, though. Like, I was surviving. I was a one-shot, but I wasn't dropping my health too low. Until here. Now my health is at 954, and I'm absolutely crapping my shorts. It was time to go into the water. I realized there's no chance of escaping anybody on land. In the water, we're at least kind of fast. This part was awesome, though. Luckily, the nuclear Godzilla, while trying to kill me, killed the Voodon behind me, giving me a health boost and, like, the opportunity to escape. And, oh, man, that Voodon was pissed. that was his opportunity. I was trying to find a place to hide. I had to heal. I wanted everyone to just lose me in the night sky darkness. I thought about hiding in the tunnel, but the nuclear Godzilla had just destroyed that opportunity. And unfortunately, when I'm on fire, I'm so easy to spot. I look like a little fireball running across the grass. Day 7 was here. My voice is so sore by now from all this narrating, but man, I was making it. At this point, the whole server was pretty united as an army. If they knew whoever killed me was getting a shout out, and things were brutal. Every time I even turned a little bit, nuclear Godzillas behind me would come into frame because like that's how close behind me they were. If I slowed down for even a heartbeat, they'd catch me. Look at those shadows, dude. They look like demons. Yeah, that guy was way too close behind me. I wasn't really sure what to do right here. If I get out of the water, they catch me. If I slow down, they catch me. If I do anything at all, they catch me. And my health was also really low. So I wasn't sure what the plan was. I was like, I'll just swim around these arches. Big stuff always gets stuck on them. But there was so many nuclears behind me that it just didn't matter what got stuck on anything. If you get 2 stuck, 3 more show up. Like, they were just so legit on their hunting. I had to try, though. The arches, they were the only way to lose big stuff. And it was the best way to utilize my tiny size against them. But there was nukes charging behind me. And that one right there knocked me so weak I was slowed down. And that was the end of Johnny Boy. Oh my god, it's even more horrible to watch over again. I was upset. I was visibly upset. Not mad or anything, but just like, no, the challenge failed. It was brutal. The server had come together and put a stop to me. Put a stop to my 10-day challenge. I got close though, dude. 7 days is freaking close. It's difficult. It's difficult being hunted by an entire server. But holy crap, that was fun. This is one of the most exciting challenges I've ever done in this game. Woof. Oh man, it was just the most intense, craziest thing ever. So if you guys want to see more awesome stuff like this on my channel, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.